Happy Friday, Royal Priesthood. Thank you for joining me for this conversation. I'm feeling good right now. This week has been very productive, and I hope that your week has been well. Um, this week has been very interesting for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and spill some tea. So this week, I had an interesting interaction with a friend that I haven't talked to in about 9 months, and they hit me up with an Instagram reel. And I didn't know who it was at first, and they told me who it was. And I reminded them, you know, about the last time we interacted with each other. It wasn't all that good. Um, but I gave them grace because I could have been nasty. And I let them know, hey, I prefer that we're not in contact anymore. Um, I'm just going to move on. And I blocked them after a little bit of conversation. Um, just to see where it might go. I did get an apology though. I did get an apology. And I'm happy at how I handled it because I could have been real nasty, but now I'm at that place to where I'm very mature now. I'm going to be 40 in 5 months. I'm I'm not going to do all this petty wild stuff. I'm too old for that. I'm too busy trying to make sure I got health care, that I'm still breathing, that I'm keeping my own self together. I don't need any other type of drama, honey. And it felt good to set that boundary and block them because that lets me know I'm in the right place. And I didn't feel any qualms about it at all. Love this person now, but your season ended in my life. And while it seemed like a bad thing, it was a win for me because I'm at peace. I'm happy. I have joy. And this week has also been good because I celebrated 10 years since I released my first single, Who I Am. And I remember like it was yesterday how I prepped for this. Um, got everybody together, meeting me on the beats, everybody that helped me out, and even the promo for that. And I had made these little glossy flyers and handed them out to promote my single because I did not want to hand out CDs to people. That's your girl was out here in these streets doing it for her first single. My best friend can tell you. But everything everything has been good. My best friend came to visit me as well. And I was so happy to see my best friend. Like we hadn't seen each other since May, but it felt good to see my best friend and to have that A1 from day one in your life. And we ended up attending a couple of balls and, you know, having some good fun that we hadn't had in a while. Sat around the house in Vogue and I showed my friend around my area, around my hood, and it felt good to have my friend in my space, in my apartment that she had never been to before. And just being able to have fun and let my hair down and just have that moment to where life stops, you know, and I'm having fun. I went traded for the world. And that energized me. My best friend visiting me energized me and refreshed me. And it gave me what I needed to get through this week. Also, I had a couple of job interviews. I'm waiting to hear back from one. Excited of what the future may bring. And when I get a job interview, I get excited because that lets me know reworking my resume worked, okay? Reworking my resume worked. But not only that, I've been working on music as well and just making sure that I'm staying focused and, being vigilant and taking care of me. I had gone on vocal rest for a little bit to where I wasn't overusing my voice, wasn't doing too many videos, although I've been burning the midnight oil streaming. And so I'm getting back in the process of finishing up a couple of songs that I'm going to be sharing very soon. But I've been focusing my energy on creating content. Um, Saturday before last, well, last Saturday rather, I decided I was going to do a photo shoot. And I had already did my makeup and everything and gotten my outfit together for the photo shoot. But I said, you know what? Before I do the photo shoot, let me get on Cbait and stream a little bait. And if you don't know what Cbait is, then you need to get off this podcast. But if you know what C-bait is, I need you to comment with a red heart emoji in the comment section or in the review section, wherever you're partaking of this conversation. Okay. So I got on there and I started streaming. And, since I was getting ready to do a photo shoot, I did my title as, photo shoot fun. And I was streaming there and had already taken some pictures of just me in my hat and in my undergarments, just testing out my camera angles, testing out different settings for cameras, the lighting and things like that while I was streaming. And granted, some people came in the room and had some fun. Honey, by all means, I told y'all a couple of episodes ago, I'm an exhibitionist and I love showing off when I can do so consensually, okay? And that's what I did. I had fun. But also, y'all know that's another side of me. That's another side of my brand. And so that's an area that I've been in on top of music and creating things here. And while I was streaming, of course, because I had not released in 3 days, I said, you know what? Let me burn a little bit of this energy off, but not release the load yet. Let me edge a little bit while I'm streaming, see if the fish gonna bite. Because if you know anything about streaming as a cam model, sometimes it's gonna be slow. Sometimes it's gonna be fast paced. You just have to work your set. And sometimes when I'm streaming, that's when I can do some of my more salacious podcasts. That's when I can really do my photo shoots because it adds to the audience. It adds to what I'm doing in the cam show. So I said, you know what? Since I'm doing this, maybe I should do a behind the scenes video while I'm doing the photo shoot. So as I'm streaming and finishing up my shift of streaming, I go ahead and start doing a little bit of the setup. And boom, my setup is perfect. Take a couple of more test pictures and I get the cameras rolling and start doing the photo shoot. And this photo shoot was fun to do because I said, you know what? I'm not able to just buy a new outfit like I want to. So I'm going to use what I got. So I pulled out my white brim fedora, a pair of my brunch boots that I love to wear. And I said, you know what? I got a new fresh set, new haircut. Let's take some pictures. So I took the pictures and I had fun doing it. And I paid attention to make sure I had some non-sexual nude photos in it. I made sure that I had a burlesque session in the photo shoot. I also made sure that I did a little bit of sexual content, not too sexual, but some softcore things where I did some things for the foot lovers. I did some things that love the cakes and the peaches and people that love grade A Angus beef, okay? So I was thinking this photo shoot could be different things. And then afterwards, I had calmed down and relaxed. And I said, you know what? Again, since it had been 3 days since I released, let's do another video. Let's see how long we can edge for. And I proceeded to do it. And the next thing I know, I felt my emotions pour out like a river across my feet and my couch.
Oh, you nasty.
While it was fun to release, I did not enjoy having to clean that up. And of course, by me making certain types of content, I make sure that in the areas that I use, I clean things up. I set things in order. If I have to disinfect, I'll disinfect. That's just me. I don't know what everybody else do, but I know it works for me. And, the cleanup process was irritating, but, it was fun to do. It was fun to do. And I didn't realize I had so much content. I said, you know what? This could be a full feature film or something. So I ended up turning a photo shoot and my masturbation sessions into a work of art. So I'm happy with it. I ended up releasing 2 of the parts on Thursday, the pre-photo edge and the actual photo shoot in 2 parts on my OnlyFans. But I also did the non-sexual and the nature's version and posted that on Patreon. And I feel accomplished because I was able to dissect a larger work and come out with two different things. So on Patreon, you'll have the lady in her fedora, and on the OnlyFans, you'll have Merlin's Edge, parts 1 through 3. So I'm excited at how I did that work. And if you want that, the Patreon is patreon.com/CWT Priestess. The OnlyFans is Talk 2 Priestess. That's Talk, the number 2 Priestess. So y'all go ahead and check that out. Like, I'm excited for the work that I'm doing. And the original reason why I did the edging sessions was I was thinking, I can just do this photo shoot, do the behind the scenes, and I can do my OnlyFans content. But when I saw how I could turn that into separate things, I was like, why not? Go at it. Go in and let have, girl. So that was an accomplishment for me, but I did not intend on ejaculating because I wanted to do some more hands-free masturbation and some more hands-free orgasm work because I've had it happen before. So I'm going to take a quick trip to the store and we'll be able to talk about that. Do y'all want something back? Y'all need any roll-ups? Y'all need something to drink or something? Okay, well, I'm going to be right back. Right back. All right. Smooches. I'm back from the store. Y'all got everything y'all need. Y'all got y'all stuff. You got what you need. You got what you need. All right. Now let's settle in it. We done spilled tea. Let's have this conversation. Now, the first hands-free orgasm that many of us remember is the first time we've had a wet dream, or the first time where we recognize that we had a wet dream. A wet dream or a nocturnal emission is basically if you haven't masturbated in a while, or if you've never masturbated, and this has happened to us in puberty, and it happens occasionally in adulthood, to where if you don't ejaculate, your body naturally expels it. It can happen while you're dreaming, or sometimes you can be so aroused while you're watching your favorite flick that you just may pull a few ropes while you're watching the film. You may release a few of your emotions all over the place, if you get what I mean. And having a hands-free orgasm is a wonderful experience. And that's one of my favorite types of content to watch, is the hands-free orgasm content. I remember the first time that I gave myself a hands-free orgasm. I was in my 20s, and I was in between high school and college, and I went to the local novelty store and bought me this vibrator that had the rubber phallic attachment to it. And I said, you know what? I had been watching some hands-free orgasm and some prostate stimulation content online. So, you know what? I'm going to see if I can do that. I know I can do wet dreams and stuff, but I want to see if I can give myself one. So I went without masturbating for like a week, and I finally got the toy that I wanted, got the batteries, got me a nice little flick, and I had the house to myself. And I proceeded to go to work, and the next thing I know, I felt that sensation where I hit my prostate. Trans women have prostates. And I kept massaging that special button, and it felt like I was going to, urinate all over the place. And I'm like, no, keep going. And I kept going, and I kept pressing further until I ejaculated. And it was so plentiful, because the prostate is what helps your semen production. It helps with all of that. It's a part of that whole mechanism. It's also part of your urinary system as well. So it's always imperative that if you have a prostate, that you are regularly getting that checked after a certain age. Even if you have certain other underlying conditions, you still need to get that checked. They often check that if you have any issues using the bathroom, or sometimes certain STIs, or if you have a bladder infection, a lot of times they will check your prostate. But regardless, please take care of your prostate, okay? Take care of your whole health. Everybody take care of yourself. So that was a way that I had a hands-free orgasm. Now, I have also had hands-free orgasms with vibrating dick rings, and I've documented that over on my fans account, Talk to Priestess. And I've also had hands-free orgasms by humping the bed. I have also had hands-free orgasms by simply just watching my favorite flick. And it was a wonderful experience. Now, the first time that someone actually gave me a hands-free orgasm was when I lived in Charlotte. This was around 2010. I'm mad because I remember this. I had hooked up with this guy, and nice fellow. It had been a couple of weeks since I had sex. I hadn't masturbated or anything because it had gotten old to me. It wasn't giving me what I wanted. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this little dry spell and just focus my energies in other areas, you know. So I finally decided to get on the apps, and boom, hit me up. And he had already tagged me out doggy style, but then he puts me in, you know, on my back in missionary. And for some reason, it started getting more intense, and he started hitting that special button. And I had told him to hold up a little bit because I was about to release. And I said, you know, let's wait. We waited a few minutes, and he went back to work. And the next thing I know, I was like, oh shit. Cream all over the place. I was a factory of baby gravy that day. And that solidified for me. That solidified for me my love for having a hands-free orgasm. Now, because I love to masturbate, it's very rare that I have a hands-free orgasm. A lot of times what I do to have a hands-free orgasm, I'll use some of my anal vibrating toys and my prostate stimulators, especially after it's been a few days. I have a couple of large dildos that I use as well. Now, I have one that's long and thick. I like using that one because it milks me to perfection. I have to make sure I don't hit this mic anymore. It milks me to perfection. And I love the way that it just fills all the voids. Even with this green one that I have, it just works wonders. And once you discover hands-free orgasm, it can change your life. It may not be your thing, but for those of you all that like hands-free orgasms, I want you to comment with a water emoji. Make that a wave emoji and say hello. A wave emoji and hello. Comment with that. I do believe that that's going to enrich your life, honey. That's going to really bless you indeed and enlarge your territory. Now, what works for me, and I'm going to give you some tips. If you want to achieve a hands-free orgasm, go without masturbating for a few days and see how you do. Now, if you have discomfort in your parts, go ahead and release that. But try edging for as long as you can, because sometimes when you edge, that you get close to that orgasm. Sometimes you can have a hands-free orgasm like that. A hands-free orgasm may not be totally hands-free. You may have to stroke. You may have to use some toys. You may have to do those things. You may have to use your hands to get yourself excited, and maybe use a toy the rest of the way, or maybe do your favorite area, a kink of BDSM, or have your partner do something that gets you there. But I would highly recommend not masturbating for a few days. But in that time, explore other areas. Explore areas of touch when you want to get tantric. For me, I like my nipples touched. I have other erogenous zones, and I like using specific toys. But also, I like being tickled as a form of getting me excited and aroused. That's a way of edging me. You can use certain toys that are good for edging, like certain vibrators. You can even use e-stim. E-stim is a good way that you can use to have a hands-free orgasm. I use the ones with the dick attachments. You can also use the anal attachments as well, but make sure you have the gel and follow the safety precautions when you're using those devices. But using those things, those methods, along with going without masturbating for a few days, will really increase your stamina as well. And that orgasm will be intense. You may not squirt or shoot per se, but it will be very intense, and it may just be a lot. Now, it's contingent upon you, the person. Now, for me, because I'm on hormones, I take supplements that won't disrupt my hormone replacement. I take biotin, vitamin E, and horny goat weed, a little bit of maca root, and that helps keep my libido regular. But I noticed the volume, it'd be some, especially when you store it up for a few days. And for me, since I like squirt videos, sometimes I have shot. I have had a hands-free orgasm that has shot. And it was fun. Now, also, if you're going to edge, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water and that you're eating a well-balanced diet and sleeping regularly as much as possible. That will help your sex drive, but also that will help you in making sure that your body is resting so that you can adequately function sexually, because that will be a factor in how well you perform sometimes. Let's be real. I'm just saying for me. But it's up to you, because your holistic care, anything you do to your body is tied to your sexual health, for real. But that's something that I do for my sexual health. But if you don't want to do all of that, however you want to go about doing a hands-free orgasm or achieving that, that's up to you, as long as it's safe and consensual. Now, for me, what I like to do in the time that I don't masturbate or edge, and I keep hitting the mic, I like to watch my favorite flicks and touch my erogenous zones and just let the pre-release fluids flow. I like doing that. I may tease. I may take one of my toys, my teasing toys, or if I happen to have on a certain pair of shorts, I'll tease with my basketball shorts, lightly teasing, things like that, lightly touching, massaging certain areas, or just breathing. You can also use ASMR or binaural beats as well to achieve a hands-free orgasm or to help you masturbate hands-free. And I really love Tantric because Tantric focuses more on breathing and touch and the sensations. For me, when I do Tantric, I touch my erogenous zones, but I also focus on the feelings in my genitalia, focus on my whole body, how I feel, and I focus on the sounds. I focus on certain elements, certain things in the scene. Like for me, I love feet. So if they're sexy feet, I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on how attractive the person is, or I'm going to just survey the scenery as well and pick those things apart. Even if you're going at it just with your imagination, making sure that you're able to focus. Before you try a hands-free orgasm session, try some deep breathing exercises. Sometimes along with deep breathing, I do yoga, or either I'll do some light stretching and do some warm-ups in between, getting myself there. And this, coupled with everything else I mentioned, has helped me to have a great hands-free orgasm and more. So I just wanted to discuss that some more. So tell me, what has your experience been like with hands-free orgasms, and when was your last hands-free orgasm? Let's chit chat, all right? Live, love, and be free. Smooch.